Now look at this, how far Cims are willing to bike if they are given the opportunity. Where is our girl now? Right. Here we are, here we go. Where do you want to go? This way. And down here. And we are in the shopping center. Okay, so. Yeah, so you see, that young woman or girl or whatever has started their bike tour here. And I've built a bike path along the coastline or the river line, and I have built another bridge over the river. And this is a pure bike and pedestrian bridge. So no cars on here, and you can see how much it's being used. It's really useful to have ways like this. And I've also extended my path network. I have replaced all the path on the side that I had from the start with bike and pedestrian path. And yeah, a little park in the middle. And then we are getting downtown. And in downtown I have made this bridge construction of multiple ways to get to this part, to get down here, to get into the commercial district, and onto this little plaza or corner, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, you can see it. I have already started. I just needed to check out if there's any difference if I put in some tram lines on the street later on. I didn't continue building a tram yet, but this is my plan for introducing public transport along the main road. There will be trams, and this biking and walking part really works quite well. I have also found a way to improve the traffic flow. In my last video, you might remember I've said there's a traffic scenario or a traffic light scenario that you would usually send cars to the right even when those cars are moving to the left, because those are not conflicting. I have decided not to use Traffic Manager, a mod which would have allowed me to do exactly that with timed traffic lights. Instead, I'm using the plain vanilla game without mods, but I have created a bypass. So people who want to come from the main road and want to go to the bridge, they can now turn right already here and then turn right again here. And for those two crossings, I've turned on the lights, turned off the lights, so there are only traffic lights on here, because I found you don't really need traffic lights on here. The only oddity of this is that the plain vanilla game is going to create a left turn here, so people can actually use that to turn around if they want to. Yeah, well, that's a small number of cars, and I'm fine with that. And the other thing is that this rise to the bridge has been interrupted a bit, so we have a rather steep climb here. Well, for cars, it's not that impossible to drive up a steeper part, but it doesn't really look nice. So actually, I would also use the Move It mod, and figure out how to create that a tiny bit nicer. What message is this? I have a full facility. Which one is this? Oh, a cemetery. Ah, well. Yeah, that was could be expected at some point. So we can empty that, or we have to empty that. And now we have to look out if there are dead people warnings coming up. So if we have to build another cemetery to compensate for that. Well, you've seen my two of my new things that I've added to the city. I have also added the second major road that I've been talking about, and I have decided to do that not the whole way down. I didn't want to destroy the whole living community down there. Maybe I will have to do that at some point in the future, but for the time being I have just created it halfway up to here. And since I don't like roundabouts, or I don't like them, I don't see them often. I don't really see them often being used in big cities in Europe, at least. In the city center you don't use many roundabouts, but I've done something that works more or less like a roundabout. I've created one-way roads that is coming from the main road. You can only turn right. You can go this way. This way you can, this street you can take both ways, and you can get back up here only one way, and back in here only one way as well. So there's no big backlog to be expected on this road, because there will be no traffic lights, and traffic can only move in one direction, and most traffic, or half of the traffic that is coming here, will move to the big road. So I don't expect that this is going to cause some headaches in the future. Yeah, and those both one-way roads distribute the traffic already a bit, so for the lower part I don't expect any major negative impact as well. But this way the people living in this part of the city, they have a good alternative to reach the commercial center, or also the industrial district if they want to go to work. And I do think that is also part of solving the traffic issues that we had. The major road is still quite full. There are still lots of cars on it, but it's not as bad. You have seen on the bridge, there's no congestion over here anymore. It's a bit more for people who want to go into this commercial district, or mostly commercial, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Some offices and commercial, few housings. Yeah, well, and here's a little bit of a backlog of cars as well. Not really sure if I need to address that. At the moment I don't think so. And as I've said, the next step would be to start public transportation, and this is also going to help to reduce the traffic even further. Yeah, well, so there's a set of different measures that I've taken from the highway exit, a second bridge on this side or across this side, the pedestrian bicycle bridge over here, and another main road. And finally I have also added a second bridge over here. We had the bridge from the industrial area over here, Here's another industrial area, and here's the commercial zone. So we have another bridge passing the river towards the harbor island, and also with a major road now going to the other side of the island. And this is probably going to be a more commercial and office center in the upper part of the island, and the industry in the south, or what I just consider the south, the part that heads towards the ocean. Yeah, what else? I have also bought another piece of land. It's this part, so we can now basically also build on the rest of the island. And most likely this will be the last piece of the standard 9 pieces that I can buy. So then we would have also this part, which I planned to have mostly residential as well. And we can extend that up there, connect to the other train line probably. And here I have already built a large road going around this part of the city, but there's nothing specific planned for that yet. So I will still have to decide what to do with that. And just to give me an idea how much space we have, I've built a road going around, but we also have still plenty of space to expand to here, to here. Here could be probably another industrial area. So splitting up the industrial area in multiple parts is probably not a bad idea. This one is going to be the biggest one anyways. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, as you can see, now we have a bit of more traffic on the back side here of the city, but this also doesn't look really bad. Yeah, public transport is probably the next project I'm going to tackle, because I think yeah, I've waited really long. 70,000 people in the city, and yeah, you all know it's the numbers that City Skylines is showing is always disappointing low and unrealistically low. If you have a look at this this city definitely has more than 70,000 people living in it. There's 12 people working in one building, and okay, there's at least there's 60, 80, 90 people living in one of those high rises. But yeah, you know, the building I'm living in is rather small. It's 8 floors, 24 apartments, and probably only 1/3. We have 3 connected buildings that would add up to one of those. So in real life cities, I would say this city could be up to 500,000 now, and this is a rather big number of people living in the city without any option of public transport. At least they now can bike, and they use that a lot. I'm happy to see that. So let's tackle the next part of progress in the next video. I hope you're back again, and please let me know if there's something specific you want to see, or if you have any specific questions about the gameplay and how I see it. Yeah, see you around. Until then, bye bye.